I came to Stanford with an interest in and a curiosity about location-aware technology and how that might help journalists tell stories better, tell stories in different ways, gather stories in different ways, distribute stories in different ways. And I didn't have a background in any of this as I was going into it, so the first thing that I needed to do was just kind of full immersion, learn as much as I could about it as quickly as possible. So a lot of the first few months were talking to as many people as I could who were involved in this sort of technology or who could help, both from a journalism side and a techie side, help me understand what the landscape was like already, what's out there, what was possible, what might be possible but wasn't being done yet. I also took I took classes, I took one class in how to make maps and how to make digital maps because I figured that would be helpful for what I was doing, and met some people who are at this really interesting intersection between, at Stanford they call it the digital humanities, so this sort of history and English and the things that as a journalist I'm more familiar with, but working with, they actually have digital humanities specialists, or I forget exactly what they're called, but they're people who come from the computer programming world and are thinking about how to kind of expand the way that stories are told and that research is done using digital tools. So that was a really interesting intersection, and I met a lot of people involved in that juicy corner of the world, and just started to get a sense of how they do things, what sorts of tools they're using, and thought about how those tools might be applied to journalism. And then I sort of jumped into actually doing a number of projects to experiment with some of this stuff. And so at this point, I'm aware of more tools than I was before, but I'm also aware of things that aren't being done yet that could be done. And in the process of the fellowship, it's not something that in 10 months, certainly I could do without a developer's background, but I've finally met the people that are interested in the same ideas as I am, and am able to better articulate what it is that I want to do.